screening process. But I can talk about the necessity to allow people to keep their religious freedom. I can talk about the freedoms that should be guaranteed to all in this state and in this country. And I know there are passions heavily on both sides, but the simple fact of the matter is everyone in this room today, everyone proponent and opponent, said that this bill is unconstitutional. Everyone who said that this is a good bill said this is a good bill because we're going to take it to the U.S. Supreme Court and we're going to overturn Roe v. Wade. Article 5 of the United States Constitution allows state legislatures to change the United States Constitution. I know, I'm trying. I'm trying to do that on Citizens United. Our deputy speaker is trying to do that on balanced budgets. There's a way to do that. The simple fact of the matter is a person can ask for something, a person can hope that something changes in the Supreme Court. A legislator does not have that right. A legislator raises their hand, puts their hand on the same Bible, and raises their hand before God, and upholds it, and says, I'm here to uphold the Constitution of the state of Ohio and the United States. If a legislator believes that something is unconstitutional, they are duty-bound to not support it. I've not heard anyone, including the proponents, including the sponsors, say that this is a constitutional provision. I believe that our Legislative Service Commission has erred in the fact that they did not include in the fiscal note the potential millions of dollars that the Attorney General's office will have to spend to defend this bill that is clearly stated to be unconstitutional. So we shouldn't be voting for it at all because of that. But generally, if something is not constitutional, it is not in our purview to vote for it. If we want to change the Constitution, the Founding Fathers in their infinite wisdom gave us Article 5 to do so. This is not in the purview of that, and I would urge a no vote.
Representative Bobby Hayes.
Mr. Chairman, let it be noted that I did not put my hand on the Constitution and swear to uphold the Bible. The state and the U.S. Constitution are clear. They show that this bill is unconstitutional. It will cost the state hundreds, if not millions, of dollars. Thank you very much.
Representative John Carney.
Thank you, Chairman. I would certainly encourage people to vote no on the bill. The only Ohioan who came in who actually has the credentials to deliver babies in our state laid out why this is not good legislation for those who actually do the work of taking care of women who are pregnant in the state and providing appropriate counsel to those individuals. And I think, unfortunately, as we would hope evidence-based policies would create bipartisanship. Unfortunately, ideology is what this bill is about, as opposed to sound principles guided by science and medicine. And unfortunately, those who actually practice medicine in the state, who take their time to come in and provide insight, despite the proclaimed open door policies. Well, the door was open. They walked through the door. They said this is bad legislation. It's not in the best interest of the people I provide care to, and yet we're going to go ahead and move the bill. So, certainly I would hope that the Senate and the governor are smarter than maybe those in this chamber with respect to we should honor those who have spent years and years applying themselves to understand what's sound medicine for the patients they care for, instead of allowing ideology to govern what the law is here in the state. I encourage a no vote.
Representative Burton.
Thank you, Chairman Watson. There is no issue that divides the country more than this one, or perhaps ever will divide the country more than this one. I think it's important to know that one can consider oneself strongly pro-life and still oppose this bill for the same reasons that National Right to Life and Ohio Right to Life oppose this bill. So for that reason, I also urge no vote on this one.
Representative Tony.
Thank you, Chair. So we've heard many of the reasons why there is opposition to the bill, both on the constitutional grounds, some moral grounds, some grounds of because it will push a constitutional, could push a constitutional challenge, and the moral convictions of people and the religious convictions of people. Somewhere in there we have to remember And with all due respect to all of my male colleagues in the room and all of the men who testify on this bill, who believe so strongly in their hearts, whichever side of this issue you're on, for your advocacy for it, either for your family, for yourself, that is wonderful. And it's always wonderful when someone puts themselves in place, I said that before, has the courage to stand and share the beliefs and their convictions and stand behind it through this kind of legislation or whatever it is. However, there is also a group, all of the women in this room who testified in this state, any of the women who either have experienced pregnancy in their lives, may become pregnant in the future. This bill, this issue affects us differently. You can say that it doesn't, but it does. Because we're the ones who carry the child. We're the ones who agonize through our pregnancies. Will he or she be perfect because that's what we want? Will I make sure that I'm healthy enough as the mother to carry this child to term? Will there be issues? And how scary for the first time, for that first pregnancy, how scary is delivery going to be? Because you just don't know. Women who may have a pregnancy are affected different by this legislation. And I have to say that part of the reason that makes this legislation so difficult is because it removes total agency, total citizenship from women. It tells women, you are no longer, once you're pregnant, you cease to have equal representation, equal ability to be an autonomous human being. You are not that anymore. And I have to say that that is wrong. That is not right. The decisions that women and their families make with these personal, private decisions, and sacred, they are sacred decisions. We, the legislature, should not impose ourselves into that. We should be working very diligently on making sure that every woman that wants access to comprehensive, affordable medical care is there, that she has access to contraception, that she can make sure that she has cancer screenings and everything else to be a healthy person. We should also, from the moment that every child is born, make sure that we are caring for them as well. That's the kind of legislation we should be working on. And with that, I am certainly, not surprisingly, a no vote on this bill.